this place is exactly what they've stated biblically, the way that this place is. That, the realm, the plane that we're on, it's the four corners of the earthly realm, the toroidal field through the center, the firmament above. Mm-hmm. The earthly realm, this construct is fixed and it's immovable on the other side. There's a firmament above. All things are perfectly created. These bodies are perfectly created and mirrored off of the construct design. This is why the physical body has, you could say, self-imposed limitations. These limitations are based off of how the construct was created. For instance, these physical bodies that we're using right now aren't going to step out of the construct, but your soul is. But your soul is more physical than the physical body that you're using right now anyways. So it makes no difference. But yeah, this is the four corners that I talk about. This is what you would consider space on the other side anyways, but it's not what they say. I'll just skip that.
Just lost history, lost knowledge. What do you believe that the ancients knew about the nature of reality that we have forgotten?
So the ancient past, or that past, they knew the construct design. They knew the celestial bodies, they knew the sun cycles, they knew it all. And this is where the structures were built based off of this construct design. This is why you'll see in a lot of their structures, they've mapped out sun from the winter to spring to the summer and back again. They even mapped out as well. You'll find that the sun follows a path of a sort of like an infinity 8 symbol, which is 23.4 degrees to the left, of tropical Cancer, tropical Capricorn. So they understood the nature of this place. They understood the multidimensionality of who they were. And you'll find in these pyramids as well, all throughout this realm, because it's not just in Egypt where the pyramids are. It's all through America. It's all through Antarctica, here in Australia. It's everywhere. They were able to basically create certain portal stargate things because they understood the spoken word, the original language too, which is usually done in riddles because words are spells. So they were able to tune the frequency to specific locations within this realm. But every ancient text biblically have known about the very construct that we live in. It's not new. Something that took me a long time re-seeing this over and over and over again in my out-of-body state, going through my own mental things and belief systems, having to crack that to see it for what it really is. And seeing that it's actually perfectly created. The only thing new is,
wow.
You see, you go into the indigenous people around the world, the lost civilization of Atlantis and Egypt, how the civilization disappeared and they were so advanced. All existed here. Yeah. So Atlantis and Egypt were of the same. This is the same time frame. People think that there are different time frames, but this is the same time frame, right? Egypt wasn't a desert like it is now. This was very lush. There was water all over the place, right? This is part of the technology that they had then, like using the understanding how the construct is, how this realm operates, how the celestial, right? How we are the center of it all, right? And they mapped out everything here. And they use that in the way in terms of modeling their structures based off the very nature of this place and how it works, free energy, right? And they were able to use that, right? And also use that through the physical body as well. Of the history, that's what I said before, in the ancient texts, a lot of the texts are actually true, but they hold a lot of distortions because a lot of the text and truth of the records have been destroyed within this realm. This is where you get the reset of things. This is where you get the giants and all those things. That was all here, but it has been wiped, the records. And so there's still, when you read books or you go into that, you could still find some truth, right? And it's still there. But when you leave your body and you access the other side, you access the records because all things, everything is available to all of us. That's all the information. Nothing is never truly lost. And as you can see here, the Mayans, the Egyptians, the Romans, the Hebrews, Greeks, all knew about the nature of the reality that we live in. The only thing that's new here in the indoctrination is NASA. But they've known this. All of these people have known this. Mm-hmm. Hebrews, Indians, Vikings, like even the very, Masonic lodges and stuff like that, Masons and things like that. They all know this, part of secret knowledge. We're trying to replicate that now because they were using all this organic technology, and all these beings were so much more intelligent. It's where you go into the what they call castles and things like that. People think those are medieval things, and how they built the pyramids were medieval. They were just highly advanced people that knew the design of this very construct that we live in. A lot of people don't understand what the 12 realms and the different layers and planes of existence within this construct. That this is where you get the heavens above coming, the sky opening. These are just different planes of a existence within this construct. And all of these, you could say the heavens, the angelic, the seraphins, the titans, the giant, all of these races are all on different planes of existence within this construct, and they were all once here. This is why you find all the history here. You find all the giants, all the history, everything is here because all was here once upon a time. Yeah. But when you talk about the lost history or the history of this place was much larger, and it still is larger than what is advertised, what we think it is. And this is where you get the giant trees, the mountains, the giants. Like it's, you're like what people consider mountains and things, or some of them, not all of them, but they resemble as if a tree was chopped down. So you go into more of all of these things, where a lot of the things that you see is part of the old, you could say the old world in a sense, where everything was once here. This is why, like I said before, all of the histories here, all of the heaven on earth, the giants, the angels were all here. All of this history is true. I'll go into the reset first. Now, there has been many resets within the construct that we're in, right? Let's just call the construct, because the construct that we're in contains 12 realms with many different dimensional spaces. So we're just going to call it the earthly construct just to keep it, clean. Now, this construct that we're in has been reset many times. So it's almost like there's been many different versions played of this game that we're in. Now, imagine if you're playing a video game, and let's just say for the sake, we're just going to call the game that we're playing the Earth version 1. So you stick that disc within a console. Now the console, let's just say the Xbox, is the construct. The disc, round 1, the video game, is the realm. And so we played a first version of this, and it's been reset. This is where you get the giants, the mud floods, etc. We take the game out and we create a version 2. And we put that within the construct again, creating, another version of this, version number 2. We play that game, etc. We take it out and we play again. Now, there has been many versions of this, and with those many versions, alluding to also your other question with the free will, how we don't really have free will here, right? The free will is an illusion because things within this construct, within the realm, the disc that we're playing, are pretty much set in stone of certain event markers to be had within the realm that we're in. Yeah. So you have the freedom to choose many different paths. You could choose 1,000 different paths, right? But each path, regardless of which one you choose, is always going to lead you to some event marker within this realm that is inevitable to take place because it's already written. This is where you could go into the massive distortions too, what people think is being awake. And this is going to trigger a lot of people, but it is what it is. There's been so much distortions from the lies of where we are here, this place that we live in, to the very lie of what awake is. A lot of people think awake is, you know, the distorted layers of what people call light workers. But on the other side, when you're on the other side and you're seeing and interacting with these beings, they are much more like what you see the images on the right, like, you know, the angelic people. They are, you could say they hold the armor of God in a sense, because they realize that they are the gods. Yeah, so they hold that. So there's been a massive also front as well to diminish what truly being awake is, and to put people in a constant passive state instead of getting them fully standing in their power and understanding things fully and completely. Yeah. Now, you know, there's a lot of people are going to look at this as like as more of like a judgment thing. It's not necessarily that I'm judging. It's pointing out truth for what it is. A lot of people desire to eat from the tree of life, the apple of life, or whatever, but they've been sold and you could say put underneath a hypnotic spell and been given an onion, and they're eating the onion believing that it's the apple when it's not. And this is where the distortion comes in. So, you know, it's more of I hold more of compassion for people that fall into the new age propaganda and stuff, because it's complete distortion from what awake really is and from what things are like on the other side as well.